Well, I'm pretty impressed with the speeds. But is speed all you need? Stay tuned. Hi, welcome to the Computer Guy channel. I am, of course, the Computer Guy. Thank you so much for stopping by. Now, if you haven't checked out the first impression video, the video where go check that out first. Did you already see it? Okay, great. And we'll show you why you should just throw this right in the trash. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. We're not gonna throw it in the trash. So we're gonna go ahead and get started, but before we get started with the pros and cons and all that jazz, I do want to mention, I did talk to a technician. We did do some adjustments. They did some adjustments on their end with the tower. They did some adjustments on the device itself. We wound up having to get it exchanged out for a newer product. So the final verdict is from testing from both of those products for this review. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. I like to do the cons first and why I just decided to pick and be different. Pretty much the big elephant in the room, stability. That's going to be the biggest thing. It's a cellular network. And when I mean stability, I mean there's such a gap between the packets that are being sent from the device, computer, mobile phone, TV, doesn't matter. How long it takes to go from those devices to the server to come back takes too long, or even in a lot of instances that I experienced, timeout, that it literally just severs the connection and it's like, oh, it's just not quite there. Going back to the first impression video, battery. I know I said it had a battery and I showed the little indicator as I was swiping through and it said a battery. Come to find out, the battery is pointless. It's so pointless that in the fact of the newer models, they've completely removed it altogether. I think with their first models, they had it initially set up to be something sort of like a hotspot, but I guess in turn, they're like, if we're not going to let these people move it around or do anything with it, then why do we really need a battery? Which then rolls into, this is not a hotspot. This device is not a hotspot. When you sign up with your contract, it is meant to stay in one location. This is a device that's going to be meant to pull a lot of data all the time. Like I said, like a home internet would, from Spectrum and Comcast and Xfinity, Starlink. Starlink's another prime example. And the purpose of that is so that they can properly set up their towers so that you have the best possible signal quality as possible. And that's needed. Hotspot devices and stuff like this, they don't need that because you're already under the understanding that it's a hotspot, it's meant to move around, and the devices do that. You're not running a whole home off of a hotspot. So that's the cons. Let's go ahead and roll into the pros. And yes, there are pros. And as I said, yes, it's fast. It's very fast. In fact, troubleshooting and stuff like that one of the biggest things was they were asking me, what are the speeds are you getting and stuff, because we were trying to deduce what the issues were with stability. Well, maybe the stability is because they're not getting very fast feeds or anything like that. Well, no, I was getting, 300 something plus download and 25 up. Those are very respectable speeds. Equipment cost, much like many of the other providers out there, that they're not charging anybody upfront costs for any of the equipment. Obviously, if you terminate your service and you don't return it, then obviously they're going to charge you. That's with anybody. With this being such a specialty device, I'm glad that they understand that people need to have this device. You can't just go out whatever tech store you want to go to pick up a modem. You just can't do that. Cost to have the service, it's actually right up there with what you would get for a regular internet provider. For the speeds and stuff that you're getting, I think it's right on par. And the fact that they're locking people in to this price for the basically if they sign up now, for the foreseeable future, that's what they're going to be paying for. Extras, just extra stuff that T-Mobile offers, and this is, I think, for any T-Mobile customers, just notifies you every Tuesday they have a vendor that gives you Dunkin' Donuts or a free donut a day, or a coffee from Starbucks or whatever. What does this all mean? What's the conclusion? Not stable connection, even though we're getting really fast speeds. You can't use it as a hotspot. So if you're thinking about getting it to use as a hotspot, that's completely out of the question. There's no battery to it. So even if you plugged it into your car and you could power it off of like a DC converter box or something like that, it's still, unless you're moving it out to your car so that you're in more line of sight of the tower, that might be an option, but it would still have to be the same tower that you would use at your home. Right now, as it stands, I think it's geared a little bit more towards people who are light on their usage. So either they're not home a lot, or if it's couples and they're both watching the same thing. Leave your thoughts below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time.